Guys, I think that record, not one person has their camera on.
Good morning.
Hey, if there's Andy, Maurice, oh, your cameras work. Just kidding. Thank you guys. I'm gonna give it a minute as usual, just to make sure everybody gets in here. And Jessica, if you don't mind just sending a quick text saying we started with a link to Zoom. We're just gonna go over a few things today, guys.
Okay. Absolutely.
Thank you. And we don't need to do that every time. I'm not trying to micromanage anybody. It's simply, we just changed the time last week, and I had a few conversations with agents today that didn't realize it was an every week thing. In spite of your wonderful correspondence and reminders and everything else. So, but I know some people probably just think it's another text from unknowns. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. How's everybody doing today? I'd like to.
Good in Oklahoma.
Good. Okay and okay, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Good. Great to hear. Good seeing you on the huddle this morning, Andy. Some great questions. If you guys weren't on the huddle today, Elijah Carujo did just a great job talking about time management, calendar management, balancing recruiting with producing. The struggle can be real at first until you get the wheels on, but the most important thing is you get on the bike and fall down a few times. The next thing you know, you'll be coasting down the hill and on to the next. So as always, guys, Casey and Brandon said it, gosh, it's been 2 or 3 years now, but their whole motto is just ready, fire, aim, right? The new onboarding portal is not always perfect. The new, SBLI wasn't perfect when it first started, but they launched it. We worked through the kinks together, and it's out there. Because as the founder of LinkedIn once said, and I wish I remembered his name, but I don't. But the founder of LinkedIn once said, if you wait till everything's perfect before launching your business, you'll never have a business, and you won't succeed. So that's why we just jump in the fire and work out the kinks along the way. And I'm really proud and impressed by all of the new agents that have taken that to heart and just jumped right in, because I know it can be daunting at first if you've never done this. I know it was for me. All right, I'm going to get started officially and run off with just a few. Reed Hoffman, thank you, David. Look at that. Did you Google that, David? I'm just curious. Oh, wait, I'll see his answer there in a second. So, guys, a few announcements. The book of the month. If you guys were on the Cook meeting a couple weeks ago, you had to think about nice. I think I knew his first name was Reed, but then I got confused with the Netflix guy, Reed Hastings, so I wasn't sure. So the book of the month, guys, Marlon Faulkner was just highly inspiring. I hope all of you were able to be on that meeting. If you weren't, it is on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's just called the Newbauer Agency on YouTube. You'll see a little blue and green logo there. I'm not like, hey, smash that like and subscribe button. That's up to you. I just want you to know it's a valuable resource. Thanks to Kim and Dustin and Jessica. Just about everything we do is posted up there. So you can go back through old dial sessions, trainings, meetings like this, corporate overviews, things like that. Pretty awesome. And on there, one of the most recent videos is that Marlon Faulkner appearance on the Cook meeting. So if you didn't get a chance to see him and witness that, don't be scared when I say he does talk about the power of conference and how important it is, because I know there's a handful of you that have yet to register. Hold on, my brother-in-law's calling. I'm getting him through a permanent policy with cash value for him. National Life Group, actually. Thanks to you, Shelly. You woke me up to how great National Life Group is. I left them behind a while ago. All right, let's see. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. We were actually right in the middle of it when we had to start the meeting. So be a three-parter for him. All right. Luckily, it's my brother-in-law. So Marlon Faulkner talked about this book. It's called 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. I'm reading that backwards because it's on my screen, so that's why I was stuttering through it. Let's see, we got Eric and Gene. Awesome. I'll repeat that for them once they get on. All right, Eric, Gene, welcome to the meeting. Just so you know, we were just getting to news and notes. The book of the month per Marlon Faulkner's recommendation a couple weeks ago, the Cook Group has agreed to make this book, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class by Steve Siebold. Go ahead and get it. However you do. I like Amazon Kindle because it doesn't matter if you're iOS or Android, you can read that on any device, anytime, right? And the Kindle books are usually cheaper. You can highlight, you can bookmark, you can type in notes, everything. And once in a while, I actually will get the hard copy because I love the smell of those pages. But I mix and match. But Kindle's a great one because it is less. It's usually half of what the retail on the paperback or hardcover is, and you've got it on you at all times. So please get that book. It was, I believe, announced on Band. We'll talk about it this coming Monday. Whoever the guest speaker is will be talking about it. Guys, I love this book. It kind of reminds me of the one that we had, Business Made Simple by Donald Miller. That was such a great book. And this is the same. You're going to see it. It's little bite-sized pieces. So number 2 is here, right? And then you just turn the page and you're on to number 3 and 4. Maybe it's my brain, but I love these little bite-sized nuggets. They just seem to stick better. You get the headline, the point, you move on to the next. And as we say, 10 pages a day is all we ask, right? If you want to read more, great. Don't read less or you won't build the habit. But 10 pages is all we ask, and you can get through just about any one of our book of the months in due time and keep up with the class, if you will. And really, if you apply the stuff in any of these books we're reading, you will exponentially expedite your path here at Symmetry. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's changed my life getting back into books. I maybe have read 1 or 2 full books between college and age 42 when I started at Symmetry. Bought a bunch of books. I have boxes and boxes of books I intended to read because I wanted to be better, learn more. But I never really applied myself until Symmetry made it a practice. And the universe has rewarded me accordingly, and it will you too, as long as you read and apply. Gene, here you go. 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class by Steve Siebold. Check it on Band. Everybody got that? Let me see. I think that's really all the news and notes I wanted to go over outside of, big shout out to, I think he might still be on an appointment. Yeah, Randy's not here, but he told me he might not be. And Betsy is doing something for her church, so that's why Betsy's not here. But thank you, Shelley, for typing that in. So Betsy's recruiting funnel is off the chain. Great. Shelley, I wanted you to maybe say a few words about it because I know you've experienced some success with it. Randy Johnson, I know, has put at least 8 people into contract in the last few weeks. And guys, the way it works is you invest in the funnel, and Betsy, Jessica, Joy, Kim, they do all the work, and appointments land on your calendar. And much thanks to Shelley and Dustin, they actually call through the appointments that didn't book and make sure that they go on somebody's calendar too. So if you are looking to get into recruiting and just jump in the fire, right? If you're on a super, super tight budget, no worries. We do have some starter accounts for that. But even more so, if you ask up, right? I'm always here for you guys. I'll give you ideas, right? We talked about Project 100 today on the huddle and a little bit about how that works. I'll cover it here because I really wanted to highlight it today to be recruiting since we have a national conference coming up. And then, of course, we'll open it up to Q&A. And everybody, we will finish by 1 p.m. because we now have the link on SFG Agent Success. If you look at the conference call section, Joe and Jeff and Brian usually take turns hosting Joe Martinez, Jeff Miller, and Brian Howell take turns hosting a wonderful production training. So in-house presentation kind of thing, every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is why we move these meetings to noon. So those that want to really hone their skills, check in with the pros. I mean, we're talking, each of them have done a minimum of $30,000 a month in APB on their own pens. Okay, that doesn't count their agency income. It doesn't count anything else. And I can tell you, Brian, maybe not. Brian Howell is a workhorse and he makes no excuses. If somebody asks him what his secret is, he says, I do the work. And he's right. It really is that simple. That said, Joe Martinez and Jeff Miller will tell you themselves, they struggled their first 5, 6, 7 months, struggled big time, just kind of finding their way, getting through the refinements of the scripts. And as a lot of people high up at Symmetry will tell you, the biggest thing you can do here is just plug in and hang on, right? Hang on, because you will have that light bulb moment so long as you do. And you don't want to be that meme where the guy has the pickaxe and walks away from the diamond about an inch away from it in the dirt, right? Because he can't see it. It's there. I don't know if it's in your first few feet, your first few days, your first few weeks, your first months, like it was for Joe and Jeff, but it's there. And just keep applying that massive action, constant correction, and you're going to hit it. And these guys are some of the best to learn from. So I invite you guys to be on that production link if you are licensed and ready to dive in and help some families. So real quick, guys, you know the recruiting tab is on the Dominic's got a dancer back there. Did you see him? Or are you just ignoring him? You're like, he always does that. He was getting the limelight there.
I'm sorry, what?
Your son was getting the limelight back there.
Yeah,
You were busy. I know. He was back there doing all kinds of stuff. It was pretty funny. I didn't think you saw him. So I want to talk about recruiting today, and let you guys know there's a lot of ways to start, right? And again, I will be pretty brief today. I want you guys to have some time for production training and all that, and definitely open it up to questions and comments, and I want to hear from some of you guys too. In fact,
You want me to say a few words, Mark?
I was just going to say, why don't we hear from a few people? I want to hear about your successes, your celebrations, your frustrations, right? Let's go around the room real quick. If you don't want to, just don't answer me, okay? But Shelly, why don't you go ahead and get started?
All right. I'm Shelly Jackson. My upline is Betsy and Mark. And when I first started out recruiting, which wasn't at the beginning when I first started, I didn't want to invest the money in it. And finally I did. So I started doing it on ZipRecruiter, and I just did so much per day, like $7 a day. And that kind of got me started with recruiting and having people pop on my calendar. And so I liked that, but I wasn't getting enough. And so I decided to get on Betsy's calendar and start recruiting that way. And now I'm doing, well, this week I've got 10 appointments or 10 interviews already. I've done 8. I've got 2 more to go tomorrow. So it's really helped me a bunch. I've hired I had 2 people under me, and now I've got 9. So it's really boosted me up a lot. A couple of them are kind of slagging, but we're going to have that. So that's just kind of normal. You're going to have people fall off. I've called them a couple of different times, and spoke to them, and the one guy says, well, it's going to be a couple more weeks before I actually start on with you. Well, okay. So I know what his situation is. I move on to the people that are there that are wanting to really work. So, but it has helped me a bunch doing the recruiting with Betsy. I will say it was a big difference for me. And so that's really helped.
That's great. Thank you, Shelley. It's a great testimony. I'm really impressed. I mean, whether you're using Symmetry's funnel through Max Day or Betsy's funnel through Level Up, or maybe you've got your own system. I still love LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn has an excellent recruiting system on there. They'll let you put in a daily budget as low as $6 a day. You can open and close the ad as often as you like. And please, any of the above, let me know. Let Betsy know, let Shelley know, whoever your upline is, just let us know. We'll help you get started. And there are several ways to do it. All right. Andy, it was so great to see you on the huddle. For what it's worth, Chris Cook texted Betsy and I and said, I love Andy Roop, sharp guy. And he saw you on his interviews today. So Chris was singing your praises this morning. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Is it you feel like a hot mess or pretty comfortable?
Definitely a hot mess right now.
That's good.
But I just finished. I felt a little bit of guilt this morning with Elijah's talk, because he's like, hey, don't jump on board and then immediately take a vacation. But I was extremely honest with Betsy up front that right as I was doing my interview with her, that we already had a family vacation that was planned, but I got back, jumped into my coursework, and I'm testing right after the 4th.
Nice.
So get that license done, but trying to do as much training and learning as I can right now. So next week when I get the license complete, and I'm confident that I'll pass and make it through first time, then Betsy can tell me, okay, here's what you got to do now. Let's go. And so I'm excited to get to the point where I can actually start running some appointments and falling on my face and learning, and then getting ready to do better the next time.
That's awesome, man. It's so great. The diligence pays off, guys. As long as you jump in the fire like Andy is, you will get the results. You will fall down, right? You might get hurt, but that's why plugging in is so important, because when you do that by yourself, it's funny. I've been taking, just as an opportunity to bond and also make sure they get out of the house, I've been working out with my 2 boys every day. And even though I'm kind of training them, if you will, it's causing me to work harder, right? If I'm at the gym by myself and things get really hard, it's very easy to even subconsciously be like, well, I just did my set, I'm done. I feel it kind of was hard those last few reps, right? But when I have my kids there and they're challenging me, or we do a plank off, right? Who can last the longest, things like that. Not only is it more fun, but I get more done. I mean, my arms are killing me today because I really wanted to win that plank contest yesterday. So same thing goes with Symmetry. You're gonna, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna fall down. You're gonna do the work that's required to succeed. But if you do it with other people, more importantly, the reason recruiting is so special, guys, is not only are you potentially changing somebody else's life, or at the definite opening a door for them to change their lives and get a new paradigm in terms of how they can live their life and build an income in a business. In addition to that, it forces you to become a better producer. Not only are you going to grow into leadership, but I guarantee with active recruiting, you will, as a byproduct, become a better producer. Now, the asterisk there is time management, right? Because as Elijah talked about in today's huddle, managing that schedule can be difficult in the beginning. And what I recommend, just like this book, right? The reason why do I love this book? Because it comes in bite-sized chunks. Do that with your schedule, right? Jacob Pogue, who's probably still of the top recruiters and performers in all of Symmetry, he has something called the 90-day madman cycle. And that's when you essentially say, for the next 90 days, I'm going to go all out, full-time recruiting, full-time production. And you will not believe what happens to your business when we apply that 90-day madman cycle as a jump start to your business. And what is so special about it is you're only looking at 90 days, right? If someone said you're going to do this for the rest of your life, you're probably going to burn out after 3 weeks because your brain's already prepping you for that daunting, vision. But if you say, I'm just going to do this for 90 days, Well, all of us can suck it up for a period of time, right? And I promise, if you work yourself into that madman cycle, as he calls it, it's called madman because you're going to feel like a madman. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's probably a little less sleep, right? Getting up at 5. I admit I probably hit the snooze button a little bit. I'm not up until 5:30, but that has changed my life. And I fell off the wagon, if you will, for gosh, probably about 4 or 5 months, where I'd be like, 6:30 is fine, right? The huddle's not till 7:30. I can still get my stuff done, get in the office. But there are, and I love it. Don't take me wrong when I say this, but I've got agents calling me first thing in the morning because East Coast is 3 hours ahead. So I'll get calls at 6:30 in the morning, right? Yes, Shelly. I didn't want to name any names. No, I'm kidding. You are seriously not the only one.
I know, I do too. I'm like, oh no, Mark, I'm sorry.
Doesn't even bother me. I have it on silent. So if I'm asleep, you guys won't even get me. But yes, welcome, Betsy. Thanks for coming in. I know you had an event this morning.
I'm glad to be here. Just wanted to give a shout out definitely to Andy. Saw that from Chris. I was at helping my dad do a VBS. Love that I get to, be able to block time off for that. It was really special. And yeah, so I got my phone. It had a lot of stuff on it and I saw a message from Chris and I was like, yeah, go Andy. Woo. So
Yeah,
I love that.
Awesome.
And Shelly, you're killing it as always. There
Yes,
you go.
you are. She's been recruiting like crazy these last couple of weeks.
That's right. And I've been seeing Angela plugging in so much too. I know there's a lot of other people doing awesome too, but you guys are on my team. I appreciate y'all.
I know everybody. It's so great. Yeah, Angie's been to the office at least 3 times in the last week and doing dials. And if I can't out you for a minute, Angie, I mean, she was in here on Saturday, brought all the kids, and it was like a little daycare in here. They had their tablets and snacks, and she was doing her job, right? No excuses. So pretty inspiring. And luckily I'm just 2 minutes away, so I can always meet anybody here in Phoenix that wants to use the office. So guys, getting into it, I want to talk to a few more people. Does anybody willing to talk about their celebrations and their frustrations? I don't care if we hear from everybody. In fact, I would love it. But if you would just volunteer, what's the high points and low points you're feeling right now?
Celebration.
All right, celebration.
I'm celebrating that I've hired like 6 recruits. I'm so excited. They're all licensed. So I'm tickled pink about that. Frustrations.
Let's call them challenges, but they can be
Okay, yeah. People not answering their phones. People not, wanting to do it after they've requested that they want to do it. Basically, I don't have the problem dialing. I just have the problem sometimes connecting with the people, I guess.
That can be tough, and that's why that high activity is so important, because
Right.
we all know that have been doing this for a while, and Shelly does it too. I'll talk to Shelly on a Thursday, and it could be like, oh my gosh, the world's caving in and things aren't great. I'm a little different. This person did that, and then the next day she helps a family and hires 2 more people, and it's just it changes everything, right, Shelly?
Yeah.
And that is why we preach consistency, guys, because in any business, I mean, you're not going to have a successful restaurant if you're open, just 2 days a week, right? Most likely, especially if you don't post the hours. So same thing here. You want to be consistent, whether you're part-time or full-time, as Jeff Billman said. I always like to say it as well. You can work this part-time, no problem. You can work it full-time. Great. You just can't work it sometimes. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The math is there, and try to prove it wrong at your own peril. Anybody else? Celebration and challenge. If you say one, you got to say the other, please. Somebody, please, because that means you're working if you've got these things.
I'll go. I mean, I feel like our team is like really taking off. The recruiting is really blown up. We're writing business, building, and I mean it's wonderful. It's such a blessing. It's what I've been working for a while. Honestly, the challenge is I kind of feel overwhelmed and I'm not able to respond to people the way that I want to. And, you know, I love to connect with people, and I feel like there's so much going on. And so that's my challenge, is just trying to make sure that I'm keeping everything in balance, you know, being there for my kids, for my husband, for my family. And, my family's had a couple of extra projects that they've asked me to help with, like my parents. And, you know, I want to be there for them and my grandfather. And, you know, so a lot of good things. But yeah, just kind of, you know, keeping everything in balance, keeping the focus where it needs to be. And just to be honest, I just get tired. And then when I get tired, I don't always handle it well. So, yeah. And then this is really silly. We went to the lake on Saturday with like family. So that was, you know, a good time to carve out there. And I used a new sunscreen, like a stick sunscreen. And like here, I don't know if you can see, part of it worked really well. And then part of it, like, so there's like parts of my arm and leg and back are like fine. And then I just am like red. So that's been a little frustrating this week, just like I've been in pain. And so, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, seeing people have success and all that, it makes it worth it. But, you know, just recognizing it's not without its challenges as you keep building, and, you know, just recognizing that's what makes me grow, and that's what makes me become better. And yeah, so that's my reality right now.
I love that. Yeah, that's the challenge you get as you grow as a leader, is just keeping the wheels on, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to keep the wheels on the car and keep everything even keeled. So as you grow into leadership, you're going to find scheduling out that me time is as important as scheduling out that crucial income producing time with recruiting and dialing, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't get burnt out. It's easy to get burnt out in a business where there are no caps, right? Because if you're energetic and enthusiastic and really devoted to building your business, there's no alarm that goes off that says, hey, you can go home now, right? You just want to keep building and bettering and everything else. So Angela, how's everything coming for you? I don't remember, you're in licensing or you got licensed? You have a license. Angela, I saw you in the huddle today. That was great seeing you.
Oh, me?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
No, I'm already licensed. I'm working on I just went blank. I'm working on getting appointed with the carriers.
Excellent. You got your insurance pay contracts and all that stuff?
Yes.
Excellent. Good. I'm excited. You just let us know how we can help. Any of Betsy's team, you need guidance on mortgage protection, I am here for you. And vice versa. If anybody on my team or anybody else's team needs assistance with debt-free life, Betsy is the DFL queen. So we all help each other here. So that's awesome. You're going to be focused on debt-free life or mortgage protection, Angela?
Probably debt-free life.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it's an incredible program. I can tell you, I bring it up when I interview, just letting people know some of the different things we can do. And particularly licensed agents are blown away by the fact that we have a proprietary program like that, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing to breeze over. I mean, these are major carriers that we work with, right? Forrester's is an A-rated carrier. It's known nationwide. They've got excellent benefits and extras and perks, and they have specifically designed this policy to match the program that Symmetry's worked so hard to refine. And great pioneers and agents like Betsy. Let's see. Amanda Shaw, are you at work or are you available?
I'm available.
Nice. I don't get to hear too much from you. So you are licensed, you're on band, you're balancing a heavy schedule in the hospitality industry. Tell us, what are your celebrations and your challenges right now?
Oh, okay. So I am celebrating, actually doing some activity. I have an appointment tonight that I'm actually celebrating, but also I don't want to say frustrated because I just haven't figured it out yet. I'm actually going to go over kind of some ideas with Angie in a little bit after this call. But Yeah, I think I just when I booked the appointment, I was on a dial session with Angie and one of our friends who's also on another and she's in another team, the Susie Agency. But so we were dialing and I was in the chat and I was like, I think I just booked the messiest appointment. Like I wasn't expecting to book it, so I was like taken back. And then we had the appointment on Tuesday and just kind of figured out I just got more information that I didn't get the first time around just because it was really messy and I was not expecting it. But so basically just decided he wanted more coverage. And I think in discovering he wanted more coverage and like what he's actually looking for, I think it just kind of overwhelmed me with once I look at all the products available, which would actually be like the best fit. And it's just a lot of information. So I think I just got nervous. But so hopefully we're going to figure that out after this call and set him up.
Good. And you guys know I'm here for you for that stuff. I actually love the underwriting. I love finding which, product and program might be the best for people. Because once you start doing this enough, guys, and you get through that hot mess stage, and by the way, congrats, Amanda. I know you and Angie, are some of the hardest working people I know, especially balancing all else. So I'm thrilled that you guys are doing the dial teams. Would you edify that for a moment? Are dial teams useful? Why are they different than just dialing by yourself? Why join a dial team? Is it helpful? Is it confusing? What's your experience there?
Oh yeah, I think by yourself it's easy to make excuses. Like it's easy to, I don't know, just be hungry when you're not, or just, I don't know, just anything. Like your dog's more entertaining when you're by yourself, But I think the dial team with other people, you can just see, I think, how easy the dialing is, like you get in your own head when you're by yourself, but with other people, you're like, oh no, they're literally doing it right now. Why am I not? So I think that's what makes it easier.
I love that. And I hope you guys will take advantage of that in the cook group. At least once a day, somebody's doing a dial team, right? And God bless Jordan and Jeff because they have their scheduled firm on Saturdays at 11:30 Eastern. So no excuses, guys. If you're licensed and you're here for real, not just thinking about it, there's nothing left to do but start reading, right? If you can read, you can do this job. And because that's where it all starts. Will you maybe sound like a robot at first? Maybe, I don't know. Will you maybe be a little shy about the lockdown and doing that 4 or 5 times before they hang up to make sure they're going to be here at 3:30 tomorrow? Maybe not, right? But you won't know until you just dive right in and do it. And I've seen it, through the years. We didn't have dial teams when I started. We kind of had the analog version. If you happen to be, living next to somebody who was also in the agency, then great. Me and Steve Devine have been friends since high school. So, 30 plus years there, I've known him. So it was easy for me and him to say, hey, let's meet at the office at 8:30 and on Saturday and we'll dial for 5 hours, right? We did that Friday night, Saturday morning, like clockwork. I wouldn't have done that by myself. Like Amanda said, you get hungry when you're dialing, right? Joe Martinez says, even the dishes look good when it comes time to dialing, right? You'll find any reason, your subconscious will find any reason not to get to work and stay at work. But on a dial team, you got that time. So please take that generous offer to heart if you are in the field and join those dial teams, because not only do you get the power of association and inspiration, but you also learn quite a bit. If you guys have ever heard Jordan handle a call and an objection with that smile on her face and, and that rhythm in her voice, if it's not a big deal to you, it's not a big deal to them, right? If you sound nervous and clunky, then they're gonna sense it. We can all sense people's vibrations, right? So thank you, Amanda, for edifying dial sessions, and I hope you guys will take advantage of that. Anybody else? Celebrations or challenges? And if you say one, you have to say the other. No, we're going to keep it to ourselves today.
Okay, I'll say one, Mark.
All right.
Mine is a little bit backwards. Yesterday, I felt like I had a little challenging moment when I was dialing. I've been doing more activity, but actually locking down appointments has been a challenge. So basically, I finally got one, but I was talking to someone, but there was a lot of doubt in her voice of like, who are you? Who do you work for? What's your license number? This and that. And at first I was like, felt a little bit frustrated or challenged, but then I was like, no, like, I mean, we're asking questions, right? Like your medication, your medical, like things like that. So I was like, I need to understand that. Like, I know who I am, but she doesn't, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I just took a deep breath, gave her my full name, my license number. And I was like, hey, like, so I like booked an appointment, but it wasn't like an appointment. It was like the next follow-up, like, okay, go ahead. This is where you could look it up at. And then, so then I called her today and I was like, okay, like, did you have a chance to do that? Like, just wanted to follow back up. And she's like, yeah, I did. Like, I'm good now. I feel better. And then, so now we went over everything. She told me everything. She actually has 2 mortgages. And they're even on one of them paying like extra and things like that to pay it down. And like, all this stuff for her and her husband. They have no coverage in place right now. So she wants something. She said that they sent in the form a year ago and they haven't heard from anyone. So she sounds very interested and wanting. And so now I have all her information and we'll be meeting again tomorrow morning. So it's it was a little bit of a challenge at first. And then like, you know, so then also, I guess that's a tip for anyone new is just have your license, your national producer number available and let them like, you know what I mean? Because you have to understand that we get very personal on these calls and these appointments. So don't be standoffish or take it the wrong way if they are a little bit standoffish at first. So just have that number available, let them know where they could like look you up and just to verify that identity. So that way they feel more safe with you.
I love that, Angie. Thank you so much. It is, guys. It's good to just be kind of paying attention during those calls because you will be thrown curveballs. If you haven't heard Sarah Pappas talk about dialing, look her up on SoundCloud. Pappas. Pappas. I've also got some links that I can send you if you request them. I have a whole collection of SoundClouds that are great for dialing and production that I've collected through the years. And even though things have changed here and there on the script and our process and this and that, the nuts and bolts are the same. She's one of the best, and the best pivot that you can use on a dial is that's exactly why I'm calling. So, you know, if she says, well, who are you, this or that? Well, that's exactly why I'm calling. You know what? I'm happy to verify, you know, my information as Angie did, and then you go right into it. I'm making pancakes right now. I can't talk. Well, that's exactly why I'm calling. Most people are pretty busy when I reach out. I've actually got a pretty packed schedule too. So I just need 2 minutes. I just need to verify the information you put on the form and then you rhythm right into that question, right? Great job, Angie. Thank you. Welcome, Randy Johnston. I know you were busy, but hey, how about sharing some celebrations and some challenges that you're facing right now and what are you going to do to overcome them?
Oh, all right. Celebrations. I've got a few appointments booked the next couple of days. Nice. Dialing has been going good the last couple of days when I've had time to do it, which is awesome. Struggle that I've had is working with having my 5-month-old daughter usually right with me, and sometimes she's not so sleepy, so she's it's harder to call when she's screaming. But I actually went and got my mom yesterday from home, spent 7 hours in the car to bring her back so she could help watch until she starts daycare here in a couple weeks. So as you know, so I can focus and get my dials in. I'm just pumped. I'm excited. I just had a really good interview with Anthony. He'll be on Firestarter tomorrow. Successes have hired a few agents already. I've got a couple who are in licensing, one of which is my sister, which I hadn't even told you about yet, Mark, Sammy. She actually did Prime America back in the day, but she hated having to cold call everybody. And when I was, I actually wrote an accidental app on her, and then she started asking me about it and got excited because I was excited. And she, knowing from how I was with my previous work. I was in the grocery industry, and the stress and the not so happy. She could just see it coming through that I was so much more happy and less stressed. And so she wanted to find out more information because she loved doing what she did. She just hated cold calling. And so she's now going back through the relicensing to get her license again to come aboard. So
wow, that's exciting, man.
but yeah, I'm pumped. I've had some really good interviews last week with people I got to follow up with here today and tomorrow. They wanted some time to think about some stuff, but
where are you getting
I'm
all
excited.
these interviews?
What's that?
Where are you getting all these interviews?
There's this really cool system that Betsy Barr created that she just plugs in interviews, and you just interview them.
I love it. I love
Man,
it.
that's it. Thank you, Ray. But it is definitely a team effort. I appreciate everybody that's doing it with us.
Yeah.
It's a team
Yeah,
effort.
no, I mean, I
it.
was being on the road yesterday. I had one drop in while I was driving, and I wasn't going to be able to give it the attention it needed. So I reached out to you, and you mentioned to have Dustin do it. Dustin did it. Ended up being a dead end. So, but that's all right. Some people they just want leads. That's why they're interested. But
Right.
there's other people who actually want to create something, which is majority of the conversations that I've been having. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. That key, guys, when you are recruiting, making sure people have that big vision, right? They may not know how to get there. That's fine. We have a system for that. But their why has to be bigger than, just I want to make money or I need some leads. Now, not to say when I came to Symmetry, by the way, that's exactly what I said. I look, I'm not interested in all that. I just want to make an extra 1,000 or 2 a month. That's exactly what I told him. And luckily he was a good leader and just went with that and said, well, you can do that here. Here's how it works. Only after that did I realize I was only seeing a small part of this. And when I met Chris Cook in Indianapolis, because live events are so important, right? It changed my whole perspective to go to a live event like Randy did recently in Indianapolis, and Angie did up in Las Vegas, and Amanda. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know a good handful of you have been to some live events, and they help you build that vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say from that Indianapolis, and you got me the scripts, the dialing scripts, having the rebuttals, like that's changed my dialing sessions completely. I actually was listening to Ryan Federico and Keith Fonseca. Did I say that right? Fonseca?
Yeah, they're great.
Call on the way to go get my mom yesterday, and they were going through the rebuttals and how, taking the script and making it your own and putting it in your own words so it makes sense to you, so that it just rolls off the tongue. And they talked about how they would just like have their kids give you I'm not interested, and then roll it off, right? Or calling siblings or friends and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Can you just say this to me? Or putting sticky notes around the house so you just walk into it and then you just roll, so that it just becomes instant and you don't have to think about it. I mean, I'm still reading it, but it's changed my phone calls. Don't get me wrong, they're still not the greatest, but I'm getting there. It's coming.
Hey, that's how it happens. I love your attitude, the persistence, because it's like a sculpture, right? It's just a big old brick that no one would want to have in their house until you chip away at it. Slowly but surely it reveals, a masterpiece. But you got to do that chipping away, and you might not see it until, late in the game, but you will see it if you keep chipping away. So that's awesome, Randy. Thank you.
Yep.
Super excited to have you on the team. And I'm really excited to meet everybody at conference. I hope everybody here, please, if you have not yet, I've noticed plane tickets aren't going down as we get closer. They're actually going up a little bit. So get registered for conference. Gene, I think I need to reach out to our friend. Well, I don't want to say Charmaine. Charlene. How's Charlene doing? Have you talked to her recently?
Hi, I think Charlene's on.
Oh my gosh, there she is, Charlene Pham. Charlene,
Yeah.
You always surprise me. She's so stealth. I looked earlier, I didn't see her, and there she is. So
I think she's on vacation though.
oh, good. Enjoy. Hi, Charlene. Good. You're out of that office for a while. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I'm in the car and the kids is kind of in the pool side, so that's why I couldn't really interact a lot. So I listen.
I love it. I love having you on here.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked you guys are getting all set up with hotels and everything. It's going to be a blast. So good.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone at the conference. Yep.
You and your family.
Kind of like, yeah, pretty loud in the back. I don't know, you guys can hear screaming, all that. The kids having great time. So
Good.
I'm working.
Good. When's that test? You have your test all getting ready for that?
Yeah, I'm in California right now. So
when you get
I'm
back
in the Southern California. Yes.
Enjoy, Charlene. Enjoy. That's awesome.
Yeah. I will see everyone at conference and I'll keep you posted, Mark. Thank you. Jean.
You guys have a blast.
Thank you, Bessie. I learned so much from you and Mark and everyone in the team.
You too, Charlene. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, and I'm going to race through the last few things here and open it up to Q&A. So guys, I'm super excited to announce, speaking of Gene Braun and Shelly Jackson, we have another Index Universal Life presentation coming next Tuesday. Or this coming Tuesday, right? July 5th. So Tuesday, July 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern, correct, Shelly? Okay, there we go. This Tuesday, July 5th at 7 p.m., Shelly Jackson, Gene Braun, and Bobby Capo, who is from another agency, but we've been working together on some IUL stuff, are going to present all about the IUL and not the headline is family legacy planning, but believe me, we're going to be talking about avoiding market corrections, the forthcoming recession, child savings programs, and all kinds of great stuff. So I am super proud of Shelly and Gene. They spent a good hour or so together yesterday, putting the presentation together, refining everything, and we are proud to present them on Tuesday the 5th. So guys, I encourage you. This is free leads. It's free leads. All you got to do is get the butts in the seats, and I promise you, this is compelling material, especially in today's environment with everything everyone's worried about, economy-wise. We couldn't be presenting this at a better time. You're essentially rescuing people from market losses in their 401ks, their 403bs, their college savings plans, right? Those 529 plans are not protected from market loss. They depend on market gains. And if it goes down, well, great, your kid doesn't have college money. So this is really important stuff. It's a mission that we have. This isn't about selling anything. It's about educating. And those that it resonates with will come forth. So My Tax Free Living, all you have to do is go to that site, RSVP. It will ask the person who invited you. Andy Roop, Eric Rush, Dominic Austin, Angela Johnson, Mark Roberts, right? I didn't mean to leave anybody out. I'm just reading who's on my front board here. So guys, get inviting. This is special stuff, and it will cultivate appointments if you do it. But Mark, I don't know anything about IULs. That's great. Bring people anyway, because I'll help you write them, right? I'll make sure that you have every single thing that you need to write that out. I'll sit on the appointment with you. We've got a few IUL experts on the team that will do the same. You will have a shepherd there, and you'll get to earn while you learn. So your job is to invite people, as many people as you care about. Get them on the call, because again, you're not asking them to buy anything. You're telling them, this is something I feel is really important for anybody that's saving money, has a 401k, retirement plan, kids, right? Newlyweds. I mean, this is essentially for anybody that plans on using currency in the future. So invite. That RSVP link makes it super simple. It'll send them the date, the Zoom link, the calendar link. See, buddy. And that's that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, real quick. So please, My Tax Free Living. Also, our very own Mark Roberts. I had no idea you were an author. I hope I wasn't supposed to know that. I didn't know that, but now I do. Mark has a link to a book that he wrote in our chat. I actually just ordered it. I got lucky. I am on Kindle Unlimited, so it's free. But I would have purchased it, Mark, had I had to, but it's free because I have unlimited. So there's the link to Mark Roberts' book. highly recommend that you check that out. Go to My Tax Free Living and RSVP for the event. And then here's my quick tidbit for today. Project 100, okay? We call it Project 100. I'm gonna do a quick screen share here. You guys can see my Gmail there. Only 119,000 messages, so I'm fine. All right, so Project 100, guys, is a very effective warm market recruiting method, right? So for those of us like, you know, Randy's on fire right now. He's gone all in on Level Up's co-op. He gets interviews placed on his calendar, right? But there's still an untapped market that a lot of us are missing out on. I have a story. I told a brief bit about it on the huddle today, but real quickly, Joe Martinez, guys, first of all, one of the nicest, funniest guys you'll ever know. But he's also, you know, he came from a Project 100, meaning, let me tell you what that is first. Project 100, the number is arbitrary. It can be called Project 50, Project 1000, but 100 is what I recommend starting with. All of us have literally thousands of contacts among our social media, our phone book, our Gmail, Yahoo, AOLs, whatever you use, right? I guarantee most of you have at least 1,000 contacts, right? And I'm talking contacts, not best friends, right? These are just people that you happen to have their contact information. So Project 100 is very simple. You send an email out, something like this, and I'll forward this to the group. Leaders, please forward it to your new agents. I may not have all the brand new people on here, but I wanted to run something by you and ask for your help if possible, Betsy. I've been tasked with co-spearheading growth efforts for my company. We need quality people for both sales and management, business development positions, and we're trying to hire on a referral basis as much as possible. I know you would know the right kind of people, so I thought it might make sense to throw it out there. Clearly, many of the people in your network might not be a fit here, but wondering if some might be. Do you know anyone of solid character that might be interested in an additional, actually this has gone up, so I'd say 40 to 60,000 part-time, or full-time is about 100, 150,000 in their first year. No experience is required, but there's a few things we're definitely looking for. Integrity, strong work ethic, self-motivated, excellent people skills, history of past success in their industry, a team player. We have, our company's the best there is in regards to culture, growth, and leadership, and stability. Thank you so much, Betsy, for putting some thought into this for me. If anyone comes to mind, I'd be grateful for the connection, right? Something along those lines. That's my email. Just share it with everybody. Now, again, it's a numbers game till it's a service game, right? That's why we call it Project 100. 98 people will probably not be interested, but you're going to get a handful that say either, oh, my nephew Bobby, you know, be great for this. Or a lot of times you'll even hear, what about me? Like Betsy's like, yeah, I know great people, but I might want to look at this. What do you got, right? So this leads to conversations. And after that, of course, you can send them the video or the website so they see what this is all about, and you set up an interview. So Project 100 is something that any one of us can do in our spare time. It'll take you 10 minutes a day. Do not mass email people, right? That sucks the personal right out of it. So it will require a little time because you're going to do individual emails. And you don't want to forward. You don't want people to see the forward on there. This is I respect your opinion. I know you know some great people, and I'd love your help. So, and people love helping if you ask, right? Ask and you shall receive. So this is Project 100. I recommend going through you can do this in chat, right? Facebook, LinkedIn. You can do this via email like I did. And my Joe Martinez story, guys, is I sent this to literally anybody. I didn't care if they're on my contact list, I sent it, right? And out of about my first 50 that I sent, I got this realtor who helped us in Arizona once. And I had never met her. She was a little back and forth. I never used her, nothing. She just happened to stick into my Gmail. She's a contact. But she said, you know what? I've been looking for something different. I interviewed her. I hired her. Now, Barb did not stick around. She found that her passion was helping seniors in the real estate side of things, and she moved on. But while she was here, she joined a co-op, much like we have with Betsy and Jessica and Joey and Cheery. She joined a co-op and hired Joe Martinez, and then she left. So I mentored Joe Martinez on her behalf while she was here, and then she left, and for better or for worse, right? She decided something else was more appropriate, but Joe Martinez is still with us. And guess who Joe Martinez hired? Jeff Miller. Jeff Miller is one of the highest performers in all of Symmetry. Had I not sent this email to a stranger on my contact list, I would not have Joe Martinez. I would not have Jeff Miller on my team. So reach out. If you want to recruit and think that budget's in your way, I want to correct that thinking right now. You don't need a penny to effectively recruit, and do it in a way in which I like to call it non-invasive, right? You're not pushing people. You're not talking people into anything. You're just sharing, hey, I have a need and I know you know some great people. Can you help? So I will send this to the list I have. Agents, agency leaders, please share this with your agents. Explain as I have if they're not on the call, right? What we can do here. And I have a little preface here talking about it, most effective war market. And so if someone's not here, they'll understand what the gist is, but I'll send that out to everybody. I say challenge yourself to send out 100 emails before the holiday is over. So from now to July 5th, do the math. What is that? 20 emails a day? Challenge yourself. See what comes of it. I'll help you interview. Guess what? If you're brand new and you want to do this, I'll be on the interview with you. You don't have to do a thing except reach out, because I want to help you build your business. If you're ready to build a business, I'm ready to help you build a business. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We have 2 minutes before production training starts. If you want to hop off, prepare and go into that, go for it. Kaylee, I'd love for you to be on that. I know you're not feeling well, you and I, but stick around. I know you and I have a quick chat to have. Anybody, any questions on Project 100 or otherwise? Comments? Is anybody feeling lonely, in the dark, unplugged, or defeated? I got to know that before we go. Thank you, Shelly. Go for it. Anybody? I know if you do feel that way, it's sometimes hard to volunteer it, but this is a safe place, right? This is our sandbox. We're all family here. Okay, feel free to reach out to me personally if you just didn't want to bring it up on the call. But until then, I'm going to assume everybody's good and have what you need for the next steps. If you're hiring, or if you just want to stay, plugged into what's next, maybe you're kind of newish. Tomorrow's orientation, right? 1 o'clock Eastern. And thank you guys so much. That link to production training is on SFG Agent Success. And I don't know if Joe or Jeff's leading it, but I know it'll be well worth your time. Anybody else? Leaders? No? Going? All right.
Oh, can I just say real quick, Mark? My bad. Just want to put in here, if you're interested in joining in the recruiting, I'll put that link here in the chat. Yeah, if you're interested, you can hop on in, and we want to help support you as for anyone that is interested. So yeah, just wanted
go ahead and put your name in there if you're even interested in learning what you might be preparing for, right? Maybe you're not ready now, but you're interested. Just put your name down there, and we'll help you out and help you build a plan.
Yeah, just let us know. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate all you do.
You too. Have a great day, guys.
You got 6 fucking weeks, dude. You got 6 fucking weeks to change your life.